Well, good morning, Nagendra Rana here. The system is critically ill. Where are the doctors? This is the topic of our discussion today. The system is chronically ill. Where are the doctors? A regulatory collapse across medical care and related sectors in India has to be addressed urgently. This is a bird's eye view of the shortfalls in medical sector regulations in India. A spurt of deaths and injuries from contaminated drugs, from Ayushman fraud, from patients being subjected to gratuitous treatment underlines how agencies tasked to regulate healthcare are in shambles. The private sector in particular is running lawless while accounting for an estimated 80% of the medical services. Regulator is understaffed. Government failure to fill vacancies and make timely appointment has resulted in National Medical Commission, the apex regulator for doctors, functioning with near empty autonomous boards that are supposed to be dealing with UG and PG medical education, medical registration and medical college assessment. Doctor to docs. MNC's attempt to update Indian medical registry is gigantic failure. Last year, several cases of fake or inadequately qualified doctors having caused deaths and injuries came to light. Yet nothing has moved on, minding the gaps. Despite a government-appointed committee having concluded doctors were guilty of being bribed by pharma companies, NMC is yet to act against them. Worse, NMC continue to reject all appeals filed by patients or their families, claiming that only doctors have the right to appear before it. Then ghost patients and faculty. Last year, CBI found that several medical colleges had arranged fake patients and ghost faculty ahead of inspections, tipped off by insiders, where inspectors were in doubt. Approval was acquired with hefty bribes. Overworked, underpaid. Medical students are a blind spot for MNCs. It has not addressed either the ragging or suicide crisis for years together. It has also failed to ensure MBBS interns and PG medical trainees are paid stipend by all colleges. It has ignored trainee doctors' demand to regulate duty hours. It has even failed to fix a doctor-patient ratio which would ensure better care for patients and prevent exploitation of doctors. And law unimplemented. Sector-specific laws are unimplemented. National Nursing and Midwifery Commission Act and National Dental Commission Act came into force in August 2023, but neither commission has yet been constituted. For the regulator, discovery of fake nursing colleges in Madhya Pradesh last year didn't even merit a thorough audit of private nursing colleges that have mushroomed across several states. Regulations of nursing education hangs in limbo while the old council operates as a stopgap arrangement. The National Commission for Allied and Healthcare Professionals Act was passed in 2021 to regulate physiotherapists, speech-language pathologists, radiologic technologists, medical lab techies, and others who play vital roles in modern healthcare delivery. The Commission was constituted only in January 2024. Delay and rollout of the law forced Indian Association of Physiotherapists to file a PIL in Supreme Court in 2025, seeking a comprehensive regulatory framework for the accreditation, registration and licensing of allied healthcare professionals, as well as safeguards to curb unchecked spread of illegal allied healthcare. The Ayushman cheats, serious hospital fraud, and the Ayushman scheme came to light in 2025. Fake bills against fake Ayushman cards, Ayushman patient forced to pay out of pocket. Some hospitals were removed from the panel, but patients were not adequately compensated. The most horrific of these frauds was deaths caused by unnecessary angioplasty by doctors in a Gujarat hospital, with no mechanism to prevent such abuse. The scheme has become a rupees 5 bet on every Ayushman beneficiary's head. Dodgy diagnostic. The sector's worth is estimated at rupees 1.5 lakh, or most of it is spent from patient's pocket. So the Clinical Establishment Act sets down manpower and infra requirements for labs, but even registration is not strictly followed. Supreme Court has ordered all lab reports must be signed by pathologists, but the more than 1 lakh labs and just about 5,000 pathologists. Most labs are run by unqualified manpower who use scanned signatures of pathologists. India also has no policy to regulate online health service aggregators even as their service expands rapidly. So who is policy? Last year's cough syrup deaths didn't happen out of the blue. Hundreds of such deaths in India and overseas have been reported since 2019. But data on who has been inspected by whom and what the inspections should remain hidden from public scrutiny. List on Central Drug Regulators website of substandard drug samples show that several companies are repeated offenders. Yet there is no info on what action was taken against such companies. So this is the state of regulations even as hundreds of public health facilities are being handed over to private entities to start medical colleges in the name of PPP. Accreditation by National Accreditation Board of Hospitals and Healthcare Providers is voluntary and it covers barely 2% of hospitals with more than 50 beds. And Clinical Establishment Act 2010 was adopted by just 19 states and all union territories barring Delhi. The ground reality is that in the private hospital sector, the law is barely implemented. India has the dubious distinction of recording the highest medical inflation of 12 to 14% in the Asia Pacific, and arguably globally, even as the expansion of the for-profit health sector is on steroids. Without the government stepping in and stepping up to regulate with an iron hand, citizens will end up spending astronomical amounts of money on medical treatment of dubious quality by dubious doctors. Thank you very much.